You could build a house in 2026. And no, you do not have to be the builder or a licensed contractor. No, you don't need a ton of real estate experience or a family that's been in the game for a long time. And no, you don't need a ton of capital to do this game. What you actually need is a proven framework of how to do this start to finish without having any of that experience, licensing, the whole 9 yards. My name's Art, the developer. I've done over 250 doors to date in the last 7 years, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it too. I'm standing here on one of our $1.5 million spec homes. This is the Ashley Short Plat. It's 2 homes side by side, and I'm gonna show you the exact framework of what I'm doing here and how we're building over 511 homes alongside with our students nationwide. Before we jump into the entire framework and break it down for you, I'm gonna give you the entire overview of the 7-step process. So step number 1 is gonna be finding a buildable lot. Step number 2 is making sure it pencils, making sure the numbers make sense. Step number 3 is you gotta design what you're actually gonna build, and you don't wanna just design anything, you wanna be specific. Step number 4, you gotta get those building permits in order to actually break ground and get going. Step number 5 is gonna be locking in the financing or funding, whether it's a personal house or it's the investment house game, 2 different loan structures. Step number 6 is building it out with your GC. And then step number 7 is either refinancing, moving in, or selling it for a profit. Let's jump into the details. The first step is finding that lot. A simple way to find deals on the market is go to Redfin or Zillow. No, you don't actually need a licensed agent to help you out when you're finding land. You can do your own search filters. In fact, I have my own search filters. I still buy deals on the MLS. I'll go to Redfin, Zillow. I'll hit land specifically, the price point I want to be at, what area and what size of lot. You're going to start getting instant notifications. You can save the search and say, I want instant emails. Every time a deal pops up, you take a look at it. Huge note. If a property is on the market for more than a month, there's usually 3 main issues. Number 1, the price is too high. Let's just say 6 months, a year, 2 years. I've seen some land deals for sale for 5 years. Price is an issue. It's not buildable for whatever reason. Or if it is buildable, the utilities are not there. So keep in mind on the MLS, if you're like, man, this looks like a great deal and it's been on the MLS for 6 months, it's one of those 3 factors in my experience that is an issue. When it comes to off market, what I love about it is I get to negotiate my own terms. I've signed up to a 3-year contract where I can develop an entire parcel and then pay them as I'm selling off each lot or building each home and selling it. So what I love about the MLS or off market is I can get super creative. I can have my own terms. I can actually seller finance where the seller is going to give me a loan for the land. So if I'm buying something for 500 grand, I can agree to give them $50,000 down and then pay them payments for the 450 while I build the house to sell it. Love that creative strategy. A few different ways that we capture the off market is pocket listings with real estate agents, meaning they're bringing us deals before they hit the market. Another option is we like the off-market direct-to-seller marketing, which would be us reaching out to them via phone, text, email, mail. There's all these different strategies, but you've got to compile that data, understand which properties to hit, and then the sniper approach. It's one of my favorite approaches that I do today, where I sniper find the properties I want, and I have my whole entire marketing sequence of how I get a hold of these property owners. That is the way that I love finding these deals. 80% of what we've done is off market. Out of the 200 and something doors, the other 20% has been on the MLS. The only thing to keep in mind is the MLS is much more competitive. Open market, MLS, Zillow, Redfin, working through agents. If it's a good deal, you're gonna be competing, there's gonna be multiple offers. Off market, usually I don't have a second buyer I'm competing with. It's just me and a property owner coming together with an agreement. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned the build-up challenge to build 511 homes. Build-up challenge is us collectively building 511 homes alongside with our students. If this video is resonating with you and you want to be part of this build-up challenge, you want to build yourself your first house or your next house alongside with us, have all of our tools, all of our resources, all of our connections, hit that link below, book a call with my team. Let's crush it together. Step number 2 is going to be underwriting, making sure the numbers pencil and making sure it's a buildable lot. There's 2 main categories when it comes to this. There's the physical, is it a buildable lot? And then there's, do these numbers make sense? On the physical side, you wanna make sure it has sewer, has water, and has power. And then everything else beyond that, and then zoning, obviously you can build a house, but everything beyond that is a benefit. So for example, if there's Comcast, or if there's CenturyLink, or if there's natural gas, You don't necessarily need those things. You can go without them. When you're looking at sewer, if it's a lot that's within a public jurisdiction, you have to bring sewer to the property. So you want to find out, where is it at? Is the sewer right in front of the street? Great, I can just tap in and I'm good to go. And then you want to find out where the water is. Is it public or is it private? If it's public, you want to tap into the street. Keep in mind, if the sewer is further away, you're gonna have to pay to bring it to the property. So when I look at the land, I wanna make sure that it makes sense. And if there's anything I have to do that's gonna bring the cost up, I wanna negotiate my price down. So if I'm supposed to be paying 200 grand for this piece of property and it's gonna cost me 50 grand to extend utilities, I wanna pay 150 for the lot, 50 for the utilities, I'm at 200. In fact, if I have to go do that work, I want an even better deal. So case study, example, we had a lot, it was worth around 250. There was $70,000 worth of extensions, sewer, water, and power. What we did is we negotiated the price to 110K for the lot. So you're at 180, it's worth 250. Now, me having to do that work, I'm making an extra $70,000 of profit for my efforts. And the seller understands it's not a fully buildable lot, so they can't really do that there. Once you've gotten that piece of it, it's buildable, you wanna make sure the financial side makes sense. Typically what we're shooting for is there's a pro forma and you wanna make around a 25% return on your money or profit. That's on the actual project cost. So whatever the project costs, which is land, plus construction, plus your finance fees or holding costs, those three things, then you got your sale price and you wanna have that 20 to 25% profit after everything. Typically when you start with comparables, so you reverse engineer, you go, what is it worth? Okay, this house is worth 1.5 million. What is my construction cost? That's a fixed number. The value is fixed. You can't change that. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's worth 1.5, but I'm gonna get 2 million. Well, if the comparables show, the sales around the area are showing it's only selling for 1.3 to 1.5, I mean, I could try to shoot for it, but if I bet on that number of 1.8 to 2 million, I potentially could lose money on the deal. So you got 1.5 million, that's the number. Then my next bucket over is gonna be what's construction costs. I talk to my builder, we go back and forth. We built out a budget of $550,000, roughly $170 per square foot for this build. That includes the builder fee. So now I understand, it's 1.5, 550, what's left for my land? That's the number that can vary and move. Typically what I want the land to be is 20% of this finished value comp. So 1.5 million, 20% would be around 300K. Oh, and that's the first threshold, so 20%, it's the rule of 20, and the profit has to be that 25% margin. If it doesn't hit the 25% margin, I'm not paying 20% for the land. So in this case, a $1.5 million home, I should be around $300,000 for the lot, plus or minus. I ended up paying $312,500 for this lot here. And this project's gonna do over a 35% margin. Again, 25 is that kind of baseline number. It's a great deal. So now in the underwriting process, it is buildable. I got sewer, I got water, there's a storm facility right there, and I've got power, so there's power in the street. I understand this deal makes sense. Now I can move forward and I can sign that agreement and then go to designing the project and go from there. Step number 3 is planning your design. Now that you found that lot, you understand that this is a buildable lot and the numbers pencil, you want to design the right product for your area. The first thing you're doing when you're running those comps is you're seeing what homes are selling. Is it townhomes? Is it single family homes? Is it higher end luxury homes? Once you have that understanding, you can design your plan and repeat what somebody else is already doing. You don't want to reinvent the wheel. For example, in this Ashley area, it's all nice 2,500 to 4,000 square foot homes. I don't want to build a 4,000 square foot home. I don't want to be the most expensive home in the neighborhood. So I'm building a 3,300 square foot home. It's going to have the same bed, the same bath count as the other home down there that sold for 1.4 million. That was about 6 years old. That's where I think I could get 1.5 for this one. I actually ran my numbers at 1.35 and it's still penciled at a 25% return. So I'm going to list it for 1.5. If I get that number, phenomenal. You want to see what's happening. You want to design similar to what already sold so you have something proven where you can actually project you're going to make a profit. What that's doing is you're reducing your risk. You're reducing your amount of risk where you could fail on a project. In fact, there's multiple homes here that sold in the $1 million range. I'm doing the same bed, the same bathroom count, and similar square footage and similar features. I'm doing what works so that I could have a profit just like the other builder. All right, it's getting a little bit chilly. I'm gonna warm up my hands, but step number 4 is the permit process. This is fairly simple and fairly easy. All you're doing is you're coordinating with other business professionals. What that looks like is you're working with the architect who works with the engineer, who's gonna work with the city or the county to get those permits. I'm not actually doing any of it. I'm not experiencing it. I'm not the one that knows exactly how many days I'm gonna get permits in, what the review is, how to read a set of plans. I don't have to do any of that, although yes, doing enough projects, I now understand it. In the beginning, you don't have to have that knowledge. You just have to hire out the experts. They'll get you the permits. You're just gonna adult babysit, make sure they submitted, ask the city when they're gonna get the reviews back, and you're gonna push that schedule to get permits. Sometimes you can get permits within a day, like St. John, Indiana. Other times, City of Portland, it takes us 6 to 8 months to get those permits, which we have done it in about 4 months because we pushed everybody to get it along and to get the approvals done. So that's the permit process. Let's jump to the next step. Step number 5 is the financing or funding portion of your project. If you're building a personal house, all you have to do is put down 5% of the total project cost. So let's just say hypothetically, you're getting a lot for 200 grand and you're building a home for 500,000. You're in it 700 grand. You have to actually put down 35,000. The land is 200. You're putting down 35K for the entire project. It's called a construction to perm loan for your primary residence. Phenomenal product. I've already built 2 houses with this where I put down around 50 to 60K and my house is worth around $1 million. It's amazing. Now, keep in mind when you're doing that construction to perm process, you've got to go get a pre-approval, understand what that number is, and then you can negotiate and get a lot under contract and move forward from there. The other thing that I love about this personal house game is there is the tax strategy where if you live in the house for at least 2 years as your primary home, you can make up to $250,000 as a single person and up to $500,000 as a married person profit on your personal house as long as you file your taxes with your spouse. So imagine you're building this house, you're putting in 35K, and let's say you have $200,000 of equity over the next 2 years, you decide to sell it, all of that money stays in your account. You're not actually, it's not the 1031 exchange where you have to go and buy more real estate or anything. No, you can take that money, put it into your personal account. It's tax exempt. It's called Topic 701, and I think Section 121 as well of the IRS code. Really powerful. That's the one biggest hack that I love building a personal house. Now, if you're going the investment side of things, typically you're gonna put down 10 to 15%. So the same exact build, where $200,000 for the land, $500,000 for the construction, you're gonna be in it around $70 to around $100,000 down. So imagine 35K or 100, 3 times the down payment for an investment home. Doesn't mean it's not worth it. You still make 200 grand. You put 100 in, you make 200,000, you walk away with 300. It's a great project. So the investment side of things, they don't look at your income. They don't typically look at your credit. They look at you having more skin in the game so that they have less risk. If, for example, you don't finish the project, they'll go in there, they'll finish it for you. So that's the 2 different financing options. Step number 6 is the construction process. Guys, remember, you don't have to know everything about construction. The first time I built a house with a contractor, I had 0 clue how the process went. I just followed the contractor, especially if they're a spec home builder. They specialize in building efficient homes. That's the type of builder you want. You do not want a custom home builder that says, yeah, we'll just build you the house for $500 a square foot. The prices across the nation for us is anywhere from $120 to $180 a square foot if you're building a standard spec home. You're not doing anything crazy. Everything that you see that we build is spec home style. In Oregon, Washington, California, we're around $150 to $175 a square foot. Texas is in the low hundreds. Georgia is in the mid hundreds. Florida is in the low to mid hundreds, depending on where you're building at. And then that other area, kind of the Michigan and those areas, you're at $160 to $175 a square foot as well. So generally across the board, that's what we're seeing with all of our builders. You don't have to know this game. I don't know all the structural things. I'm learning about hold downs and all these other things, but it's the builder that's doing that. The builder's passing the inspections. The builder is getting this home built, and I only pay as the work is done. So framing is complete. I'm not gonna pay for the framing until we pass. Well, technically there's not a framing inspection that you pass, meaning for just this, there's a final framing inspection after they finish all the plumbing, electrical, and HVAC. They're gonna do a full inspection to pass framing, which includes all the structural. I'll end up paying the framer 80%, and then until they pass that inspection, I don't pay them the remaining balance. Same with plumbing, electrical, and HVAC. the builder's managing it, but I'm not gonna pay the builder who's gonna pay those people until they pass their inspections. If the plumber didn't pass plumbing, I'm not paying for plumbing. So once they pass inspection, I can get the money from the bank within a few days. I'll pay them within a week of them finishing and passing their inspections. It allows us to move the project along and never give deposits. Do not ever give deposits for anything. Always have a up to 30-day period to pay the subcontractor when they finish their work. Step number 7 is going to be either selling your home, putting it up for rent, or refinancing, or just moving in. So the construction or perm loan for your primary residence, you actually have one loan. It's a construction loan that converts to an automatic 30-year mortgage. They're gonna make sure and reappraise the house that it's the same value as when you got the appraisal the first time to build it, and then they'll just verify everything else, have a certificate of occupancy which allows you to live in the house, and boom, you've got yourself a 30-year mortgage. Beautiful thing. I love the product. It's amazing. So step number 7 is you're selling, renting, or you're refinancing. And that's a wrap of the entire 7-step process. As you guys can see, this is not just theory. We have over 100 doors in the pipeline. Our students have over 50 doors in the pipeline, and we're all crushing it in this new construction game. If that's you, you're ready to take action, hit that link below, join the Build Up Challenge. We'll go through the entire 7-step, how to find land, how to source everything that we source, our lenders, our builders, our contracts, literally everything. And like, share, subscribe, share this video. If you have any comments or questions on this video, or you want to see something else in the future, hit that below. Looking forward to seeing you next time.